SWAT Commander is a 1 to 5 player SWAT simulator game. So we're going to see if the game's good and if it compares to other titles like Ready or Not. Obviously this has less budget, so it's not going to be a direct comparison. Anyway, there's no hub area that you can play around in like Ready or Not. You're just in a main menu. There's briefing though, and you have different missions. There's a lot of missions, and actually not all of them are available. And you basically just get to select where you want to start your starting location. There's also different game modes. There's like a hostage rescue, or a high threat something, I forget what the name of it. There's a bomb dispose one. So there's a lot of replayability that you can have on one map. Obviously it's the same map every time, but there's going to be different objective locations, and there's going to be different hostages or different people, enemies all over the map every time. Games like this can really break with AI. If the AI is no good, the whole game and the whole immersion, it gets completely out the window. Luckily though, I was surprised at this game's AI. For starters, enemies are really hard. It's not just like you're walking into a very easy game. They are going to shoot you, and they're going to shoot you through plants that you can't even see through, but you can hear them. So they're just going to shoot through and kill you. There's also friendly AI if you don't have friends, which I just played single player, and there's is it like 4, you get to control 4, and it's also in different groups done like Ready or Not. So you have I think it's yellow, which is your overall group, it's going to control 4 units. Then you have a red, which is 2 units, and a blue, which is also 2 units. This means you can have 2 units and a different 2 units opening different doors at the exact same time. It's just a way to separate the whole squad and command them differently. And commanding the friendly AI is really what impressed me, because I wasn't expecting it to be this in depth. It is as good as Ready or Not. You can basically tell them, go into a room and clear the room. And if there's evidence on the ground, take the evidence. And if there's people, you can restrain them. You have to do this individually. They won't just automatically do it step by step, which is a little bit annoying because you can clear out a room and they just won't handcuff people. And so you have to tell them individually to do it, and then they also won't take the evidence, which is normally a weapon on the ground. The maps are really what make this game shine. Obviously the AI is a make or break situation, but it's made the game really amazing. So then the next thing we look at is the environments, and are they any good? The first environment is a pretty easy location for you to do, but you can choose, by the way. There's just so many different levels. You don't have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do 1, and then you can do 12 level, for example, different map. It's just your preference, and obviously these have different game modes, but the maps are really great. There's lots of hidden stuff to explore, and there's lots of objectives to explore. You can press escape and it will list the objectives. You don't have to do them, it's completely your choice, but to complete the level you can do them. And some of them will be like, you run across a weapon stash and you have to press F on it and gather evidence. Now in one of these rooms, in one of these maps, there was a room and it had like 4 evidences. So you just go into the room and all you're doing is spamming F, and it's not really fun to do. Anyway, I won't show all the maps here, but what I will say is the starter area, there's not much to it. The starter map, the first map, there's not much to it, so you have really good FPS and really good first impressions. But then you get onto a map that's like really intensive. It's like a huge map, a huge building, and your FPS tanks, so you don't keep the same good FPS. But on the first few maps, the FPS actually is great. By the way, there's also lots of good keybinds, and there's lots of good stuff you can edit in settings to do this. However, one weird thing, I have to mention this, I was on the high by default, and obviously I went onto a big map, low FPS, so I lowered the settings, yeah, and it gave me worse FPS, so I'm not really sure what's going on there, but the game looked worse, I could tell, but the FPS was also lower. I don't understand. Anyway, let's move on to what actually makes this game fun on top of all the other things. The guns, of course it's the guns and the equipment. When you're a SWAT person, you have lots of different equipment on you, or maybe not on you, but on your team. You'll have a battering ram. You also have a lockpick tool, so you can just lockpick a door. However, there's a lot of barricaded doors, so maybe the door will have a wardrobe behind it, so there's no way of being accessed. Night vision. Night vision is a must-have in a SWAT game. You don't have to use it. By the way, there is a torch. Your guns have torches, of course, and lasers. But it's not always sufficient to use them all the time. You ideally, in a realistic situation, you only want to use your torch when you are entering a room or something. If not, it's just going to blow your cover. And I know I do this in Ready or Not. I don't know if it matters in this game. So there's lots of accessories, which makes the SWAT simulator aspect of the game good. But the weapons also, you can get different weapons. You can change the scope on these weapons. You can change just about anything that you would want to change, and they will do different stats to the weapons. Like you can put a laser on it. You can put a a grip on it. And there's also pistols. You have different breaches, so you can carry in a C4 charge, for example, or a shotgun. And there's also flashes and stuff that you would normally see. By the way, I will get footage up of me flashbanging myself, and I don't care, it's whatever, but it looks so cool. I think this game has one of the best flash effects that I've ever seen. I don't know how realistic it is. I've not been flashbanged IRL, but it looks really cool. So the equipment gets a positive from me. So far, everything's been good. Now, I will mention some negatives because there's going to be some negatives and some little things here. The lockpick animation sucks. All you're doing is holding left click for a progress bar, and at the end of the progress bar, it unlocks the door. Yeah, it takes way too long. The objectives, like I mentioned earlier, I went into a room, there's 4 objectives just lying around and I have to press F and just spam F. I'm not really looking at anything, I'm just spamming the button. It's not real good. Voice lines are actually decent. They do really, I guess it's just SWAT in general, right? But it's so close to the Ready or Not voice lines, but they do work and they are pretty cool. I am glad that it's voice acted. There's not a whole lot of negatives. Like I said, I went into this game thinking it wasn't going to be great because I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why, but it's just, I thought Ready or Not clone. There we go. There's no really topping Ready or Not, especially with an indie game. And then I played this and there was a lot of aspects to this game that impressed me. The level design, amazing. The guns are also amazing. The AI that you can control, the friendly AI. I didn't think this would even be a thing, but it is so cool. So would I recommend this game genuinely for you? Yeah, if you have friends to play, this is a no-brainer. But if you want to play solo, it's also a really good game. Like I said, I played everything in solo and it's really good. Now, one thing I will say, and I'm comparing this game to Ready or Not a lot. Like I said, I've 100% Ready or Not, so I know a lot about this video game, and that's why the comparison exists. It is not a Ready or Not killer, and like I said, it doesn't have the budget to be either, but it does a lot of really good things. So whether considering it to be worth it, if you have played Ready or Not, yes, get this game, it is actually really good. But if you haven't played Ready or Not, that's a more built up experience and you're going to get a lot more there. However, as for gameplay wise and hours, you can stack up hundreds of hours in Ready or Not, you just really can. And here there's probably a good amount of hours because you can there's so much replay value, you can replay stuff really easily and without getting bored. So yeah, if you've played Ready or Not, whether you liked it or didn't like it, if you have played it, go and experience this game, it's amazing. If not, I would say Ready or Not, to be fair, but I know that's quite pricey, this is a cheaper game, but it's also a lesser experience. So this game isn't going as great just because I had a few frame rate issues that were stopping me from enjoying the game, and there's also a few issues with the game, but it is really close to being good. I hope one day it can be great. I still recommend the game though, like this is a very appealing game. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video, hopefully I've educated you about what this game is, what it has to offer, and some good and some bad about it, and you can make a decision if you want it. Anyway, thanks for watching, hopefully I will see you in the next one or whenever. Goodbye.